Greetings, Gridmaster.
Yeah, hold on a sec. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? What are you using for security down there at Trash 80? Guys, it's called encryption.
This camera is awful.
I'd let you off the hook, but stupidity always brings out the asshole in me.
Might I speak with you, console jockey?
All right, yeah. Just 1 minute. No, nothing to worry about. Just a harmless email. Not a self-replicating embedded virus or anything. Wow, you really opened it. I can't believe you just opened it. What kind of a freaking idiot just opens it?
The kind of people I have to support 5 days a week. Perhaps another time for this tango.
Huh? Tango? You came to the wrong place for dance lessons.
Why did his voice just change?
Forgot. Okay. Yeah, you got more than a few bugs in the software, right? I'm sorry, but that's a tech problem I can't fix.
And his voice is so quiet. I've already turned it up. I don't... Okay, system volume's now up significantly. Let's see if I get deafened after I finish talking to him. Who are you, Joe Boy?
Well, oh yeah, sorry. The name's Mitnick. I'm in charge of computer systems, network security, that kind of thing. You're the new kid, right? McCroy's girl. Surprised you actually made it down here.
Why am I staring at his chest? Why surprised, Binary Boy?
I'm following your progress on the cameras. Handled yourself pretty well with all of the creepy crawlers in the sewers. Like a bad sequel to Chad up there.
I mean, you said Chad, but you meant Chud. So they said previously Officer Fatboy said chips, but it wrote chips. Like, now they actually got... I don't know. I'm sure it's easier to license Chud than it is chips. But, this is weird. This is weird. I don't know. Maybe you only get one take on the voiceover here. I seek Gary, king of this crypt.
Yeah, he knows why you're here. LaCroix must be pissed.
LaCroix?
You're looking for some payback. LaCroix knows better than to mess with Gary, sheriff or no sheriff.
You know what this feels like? No, I can't even say that because that's... What it feels like is this guy had dialogue and then they rewrote it completely after the voice actors had already recorded their lines. Because that first section definitely sounded like a different voice actor. And I imagine this is just some guy in the office. But apparently the guy in the office couldn't be bothered to, or corrected on his delivery of his lines, either in technique or content. I come to trade words, not war.
His room's just down the hall. You'll probably find him there. Maybe
I need to nose around your noggin.
go ahead.
Tell me of this underworld.
What, the Warrens? Not much to tell. Just a bunch of us living down here, trying to stay off the radar. It ain't pretty, but it's home. Gary's the big man on campus. He's running the show.
This underworld seems devoid of demons.
There's more of us than you think. They're around, but you won't see too many of them down here. But they'll be watching you. Go ahead.
How do you fit into this grid?
Me? Like I said, I'm the resident tech head. Keep this place wired to the outside world. Gary wants me to keep it close on the street. same time, I'm supposed to be upgrading the network.
I already know what it's called, man. What? I see a secret web spun by scurrying rodents.
Nothing. Forget about it. Like I said, just some network stuff.
I've already talked to Tongue. Keep your secret, little rat, and what of this worrisome web?
I'm trying to add a few more network hubs in the city so we're covered in case of emergency. But Gary doesn't want anyone leaving until this whole thing with LaCroix blows over. Which basically leaves my freaking shoes hanging in the wind.
What dialogue? Perhaps I can spin some webs of my own.
Yeah, you do that. Man, that would really help me out. I could hook you up along the way. Make it worth your while. I got access to all kinds of goodies.
This game really buries its quests. Like, it buries the lead. It doesn't want you to know they're there. You really gotta dig for them, apparently. I will spin this secret web.
I need a little time to set things up. Technical details. I'll send an email to your haven and tell you what needs to be done.
I still haven't gone back to my new apartment.
For now.
Tell me your tale, console cowboy.
Before all this, I was a hacker. Good one, too. There wasn't a system I couldn't crack. Telcos, DoD, you name it. One time, I emailed the president all the nuclear missile activation codes. The FBI was shitting their pants. But one day, I ran across the system. Total dark. Unbelievable security. I fried 3 laptops trying to bust it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Didn't sleep much at all. I'd almost given up, but I caught her up the break one night and finally broke in.
Describe this dark web.
Was far too dangerous. Not even a really important one, which was probably the only reason I cracked it. I dug around for a while, totally freaked out, and I unplugged. 2 hours later, guess who shows up at my door? Gary. And voila, here I am.
So you got sired just because you broke into their stuff? The Crypt King nabbed you and funkified your face?
Are you kidding? I love this shit. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna hurt your beauty contest, but I wasn't too good looking before anyway. Now I get all the cool new toys, plus I just happen to get to live forever. Not a bad deal if you ask me.
I am no longer here. Well, I would like to point out that everybody, like, pop culture constantly references the nuclear codes, but by all accounts, unless it's been changed in secret, the nuclear codes are and have always been either non-existent or just zeros. Because in case of nuclear war, the theory goes, and I could talk for ages about nuclear deterrent theory and game theory and all that, but the idea is that in case of nuclear war, they don't want the president to have to remember some shitty codes. He's got other shit to do. So the idea is that it's a secure connection point to point, essentially, and that the authorization doesn't require a code. There's no nuclear football. Well, there is a nuclear football, but you don't, like, type in some crazy password. I mean, that's like, that would, just the idea as a computer guy and as a computer security guy, the idea of, like, the nuclear football and they go to nuclear war, and somebody should write this into a show or something. You go to nuclear war and they open up the nuclear football and there's a fucking post-it with the password on it. Just the idea of that alone is so absurd. Anyway, the point I was getting at is the nuclear codes being a thing is kind of absurd. Granted, I have no insider knowledge, but, like, the idea of that. The whole point is to, you know, be able to respond quickly, not to like, oh God, gotta go through my password manager as the president to remember what the nuclear codes are, because who the fuck's gonna remember? Anyway, I digress. What a weird setup here, man. Is this where I came from? Ha! 1337. Nope. Guess I've already had my fill. This doesn't look like Gary. Tawny. So hot. Bitch. Fat. Well, you seem well balanced.